Welcome to Better with Age, the show where time doesn't age us, it refines us. Let's get started with our topic of the day. Last June, Guidant Financial published their State of Small Business, a survey over 2,600 entrepreneurs and small business owners. The findings showed that 54% of America's small business owners are over the age of 50. 33% are between 50 and 59 years of age. 17% are between 60 and 69 years of age, and 4% are over 70. Score.org lists California, Florida, Texas, New York, and North Carolina as the most popular states for businesses owners over 50 years of age. Lori, what are your thoughts about starting a business after 50? And what type of business would you start?
Cool. I think the opportunity to do something incredibly different after the age of 50 is extremely exciting. I don't know if you remember, a long time ago they had More magazine,
Yes.
and that was for women over
Yes.
40. And I remember being so impressed. There was a woman in there who was an attorney, and then she decided to own a potato farm.
Wow.
So I'm thinking a potato farm sounds good.
I would love to start a business over 50. And you know why? I think at 50, you had enough life experience that can kind of lead you or give you more discernment and trust your decisions a little bit more about what you want to do and where you want to go. And you have more of a desire to do it because you more than likely had a career that, really wasn't what you wanted, but it paid the bills. So now here's the opportunity to do something different. So that's why I think I would love to. I would love to start a business.
What would you start?
Oh, let's see now. I'm interested I like thrift stores.
Oh.
I would love to open up a thrift shop. I would love to open up maybe a theater company, a production company.
Wow.
I would like to do a theater company to give back to some of the underserved youth in various neighborhoods. I would like to do something like that. So, between theater and some type of shopping mechanism, I also like to decorate homes.
Oh,
Yes.
so do you know what I hear you saying, though, is it's about your passion.
Yes.
And I think that's what happens is sometime, like around 50, we kind of go through I can tell you as a psychologist, the midlife crisis is real. It is very real.
Yes.
And I think there comes a point where you just kind of want to do what you want to do, and you want to live your life the
Yes.
way you're supposed to, like the way you feel like you're meant to.
Yes.
And so I think at 50, people kind of switch, and they decide, what do I want to do? What's my passion? And then I think the businesses tend to be more successful. I bet we would find that because when you're doing your passion, you're living your life, it just it works.
And it's so funny that you mentioned the person who was a lawyer and then became a potato farmer.
Yes.
I remember a story of a gentleman who was a CEO of some type of company. I'm not really sure what it was. And he was so burnt out. By the time he was at retirement age, he took a job at Starbucks. He said he was the happiest he had ever been in his whole life. He didn't own the Starbucks.
Yes.
He just worked in the Starbucks.
Yes.
He was the happiest that he had ever been. So I guess there's something to say about
It sounds like there's something to say about both sides,
Yes.
really. Like, either creating something big and being really energized by it, or deciding, hey, this is kind of a time for me. I'm going to just kind of kick back and just do what I want to do.
So could you see yourself going from a therapist and having a practice to working at Starbucks?
I love Starbucks.
Okay, so that
Or
was
the
a
drinks
no-brainer.
for free because, like, I'm in. Yes.
Right. We had a pastor talk about he was talking about older senior citizens going to work at McDonald's. He thought that it was kind of shameful that they had to do it. Not that the job was degrading, but he felt as though there should be someone in the family, or they should have set themselves up enough to not have to work at McDonald's or fast food or any place. But that person might have wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That might have been an opportunity to get back out of the house and
Right.
do something different. That could have been a CEO of a company and said, I'm going to try something else. A way to connect with people, a way to serve, and to work with a younger generation. That keeps you alive as well.
Absolutely. And I don't think everybody doesn't have the potential to, they don't save for retirement.
Right.
A lot of people can't afford to do
Right,
that.
right.
And so sometimes that's the choice we have. And then I think we do it with joy and it becomes something beautiful.
And I also know that becoming an entrepreneur isn't easy. It's not a cakewalk. And I know that's a good percentage of businesses fail within the first 5 years. So
Yes.
there's that to consider, and that may
Yes.
scare some people off. But again, by the time you get about 50, you're willing to take on some more challenges that you might not have wanted to take on at 20.
My dad always told me, greater the risk, the greater the return.
Yeah,
I
we
think
go.
that's true. So we got to throw it all in the hat, right?
That's right. So we're going to wrap this up and introduce our next guest. When we return, we'll be talking with a production company owner. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And we are back. With us today is media entrepreneur Luke Allen. Luke, hi.
Hi,
And thanks for coming today.
glad to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, I have my company is called Luke Allen Productions, and I am a playwright basically,
Wow,
and I produce my own plays,
it's fantastic.
and I've started into some film. I produce that, and that's basically what I do.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
how did you get started playwriting?
Playwriting. Well, many years ago, I was in therapy, and my therapy sessions led me to write poetry, which was entitled The Wire Monkey.
Okay.
And it's based on Harlow's experiment, his love experiment, where he worked with baby monkeys. And so as I was working in my therapy, I was writing this poetry. And after I left therapy, I had taken the poetry and I just kind of put it in the file cabinet. And some years later, I began to look at it and I shared it with someone. And they said that there had some rhythm to it.
Wow, okay. So you were noticed.
Yes.
Excellent.
So this one day I was heading to work and I was listening to some music by David Lance. And listening to his music, I thought, wow, that would go with my poetry. So I thought, well, let me write a play.
Oh my God, that's a big jump.
So I didn't know how to write one.
Okay.
So I got all these books on playwriting, how to write, and the best parts, and how to find actors, and everything about it. And so I studied it. I wrote the play, and then I proceeded to try to find. I needed a choreographer because it was a musical.
Wow.
And I needed a choreographer and I needed actors, and I had no idea how to go about it. And so I kind of went on the internet looking at local Philadelphia actors and said, I'm doing this play, and would you be interested? And I got more rejections than acceptance.
Yeah, right.
Look, it seems to me like you have tremendous courage to do something like this.
You think?
I do, yeah.
Thank you.
How long ago did you start this?
This was 2011, and then I staged the play in 2012.
That's fantastic.
Well, it sounds like your writing technique came to you by way of your therapy session.
Yes.
Is there any other way that inspires you to write?
Well, the mission of Luke Allen Productions is to give voice to those who are silenced. So my writing is always about that. It's really tough subjects. It's usually dealing with addictions, child sexual assault, rape, prison life. So it's that kind of thing, looking at what goes on in society today and all those, who are silenced. I want to give voice to those people.
That's fantastic. Can you tell us about something, a recent project that you've done?
The most recent is a documentary, Race to the Stage, which deals with racism in theater and film. So I just released that yesterday.
Oh my goodness,
So-
fantastic.
Well, it sounds like some of the issues that you deal with and the purpose of your production company, some of the issues are really heavy. So is there ever a time that you feel like it's too much for you, and where do you receive your outlet from?
I don't feel like it's too much for me.
Okay.
And I've been fortunate enough to find actors who feel like it's not too much for them
Oh,
either.
okay.
That's fantastic. Do you see some healing in it for
Yes,
the actors?
yes.
You
yeah,
do?
Yes.
What do you think that's about?
Probably, well, they say that a lot of the characters are really living inside the playwright.
Right.
And so I have, these various characters I've either experienced in therapy, in group therapy, where I sat with women, and the things that they were talking about and how it like affected me. So I think of them, and I, think of my own experiences, and I kind of put them together in characters.
Okay. And who do you aspire to work with? If you could pick anybody, past or present, who would you aspire to work with?
That's a good question. Can I come back to that one?
Sure can. And what's the project that you're going to be working on next? I know you just got something coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm now working on a play called James and the Three Girls from High Street.
Ooh.
So that should hopefully come out. I'm hoping to stage it in December or January.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about it?
Or is that a spoiler?
It's a spoiler.
No, really.
It's a spoiler.
Oh, it is. Okay. So you don't want to talk about that. Okay.
Not right now,
All right.
if that's
How
okay.
about so going back to your poetry, do you still write it?
I do not.
You don't?
I write plays now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
And is there a typical length of time that you take to create a play? Do you already have the play pretty much in your mind and you just put it to pen, or do you create as you write?
I'm an organic writer, so I create as I write. Like I have an idea
Yeah.
of what I'm going to write. My one play, One Evening at St. Lucia, was a whole different beginning than what the play turned out to be.
Okay.
And sometimes I write the ending. I know the ending before I know what's going on in the middle.
So do you surprise yourself a lot?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Now, what could you tell an up-and-coming writer where to begin, where to pull from, how to create and put it on paper? Do you have any advice for an up-and-coming writer?
Well, all my plays are about the protagonist is in search of the truth about themselves. So I would suggest when you're writing, you kind of be able to have the ability to look inward and kind of search for your own truth, and maybe your writing will bring you to that. In some cases, my own truth came out as I was writing the play. So I guess if you're taking writing courses would be good, and studying plays, staging of plays. Go to many of them.
Yes.
And every chance you can. I've gone to a lot of plays. That's why I was like, wow, how did they do that? And if you feel like you're a good writer, but you don't have the opportunity to go to college,
Right.
there's so many manuals and books out there teaching you how to do playwriting.
Oh, okay. Now, would you suggest someone, if they have a burning passion for creating a play or starting a production company, and they have a 9-to-5, would you suggest that they quit the 9-to-5
No.
and put their
No.
everything into the playwright?
No, because I've wrote working 9-to-5 jobs,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
and that's how I was able to fund my plays.
Okay.
I fund my own plays, so it was my paycheck going into the plays.
Yeah.
So no, don't do that. There are agencies where if you have something that you feel is great, you can send it to them for a fee and have them look at your play. But most don't get published or accepted. So know that sometimes don't get downhearted. Like in my first play, I couldn't get funding anywhere. I applied for funding in Philadelphia and no one would give it to me. So I said, well, then I'll fund my own. So don't take it personally or feel badly, if you have a belief in your work,
Yes.
you keep writing. Rewriting has a lot to do with it. Have a lot of patience and tolerance for yourself.
Okay.
And look, because this is about sort of special topics, how easy or difficult is it to kind of attract the kind of person that you want in terms of performers and things like that?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to work with a director in Philadelphia, Christina May, who is just wonderful at bringing actors to me. So she had been very helpful from like my first play where I was just calling people, will you be in my play, please?
Anybody, mom, sister,
right.
whoever would say yes.
Oh, you have talent. You do any soft shoe? You could be a dancer. Yeah. But Christina May has been very helpful to me, bringing me actors. And now that I'm in the community as an artist, I find that people want to work with me. So I pick up the phone or email. I'm doing a play. Are you interested in it? And they're like, please send me the script.
Well, that is fantastic. Luke, we'd like to thank you for coming to the show today, Better with Age, and we wish you much success in your future productions.
Thank you.
And for more information about Luke and all of our guests, be sure to visit us on our website at Better with Age. We'll be right back.
And we're back. We are going to play a little game called Memba When. Sherry and Angie will face off by answering questions about the 1970s. You will each have 10 seconds to write your answers on your whiteboard. When I call time, hold up your answer, and let's see who is going to be the champion.
Woo!
Are you contestants? Are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
All right. Who was president in 1975? A. Ronald Reagan, B. Gerald Ford, C. Richard Nixon. Again, who was president in 1975? A. Ronald Reagan, B. Gerald Ford, or C. Richard Nixon? And that's time. Okay. And can we see your answers? Outstanding.
Oh,
Very good. B is
good.
the correct answer. It was Gerald Ford.
Yay!
Second question. In what year did streaking become the latest craze? I'm pretty sure it's when I was born. A, 1970, B, 1973, or C, 1980? Again, in what year did streaking become the latest craze? A, 1970, B, 1973, or C, 1980? And time. Whoa. I'm sorry. The correct answer is B, 1973.
Oh,
Do that.
wow.
I
Okay.
remember how old
I know it was back in the 70s.
All right. Question number 3. Ladies, you're doing great. Question number 3. Which cable subscription debuted in 1972? A, HBO, B, Showtime, C, Cinemax. Again, which cable subscription debuted in 1972? A, HBO, B, Showtime, or C, Cinemax? Okay, and flip the boards. Wow. Okay, well, we have a drawing to address, but the correct answer is A, HBO.
Oh,
okay.
HBO.
Nice job.
I thought it was B.
All right.
That's what I put.
On to the next. The first African American woman on American Vogue was A, Iman, B, Grace Jones, C, Beverly Johnson. Again, the first African American woman on American Vogue was A, Iman, B, Grace Jones, or C, Beverly Johnson.
That's a hard one.
The correct answer is outstanding, C.
Grace Jones?
The correct answer is Beverly Johnson.
Beverly Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was Iman.
Okay, next question. Who was known as the man of 1,000 glasses? A, John Lennon, B, Elvis Costello, or C, Elton John? Again, who was known as the man of 1,000 glasses? A, John Lennon, B, Elvis Costello, or C, Elton John? And time. The correct answer is yes, excellent. C,
good,
Elton John.
good.
Yeah, he had some very funky outfits
Yes,
going on
'cause
back
we
then.
had one
John
pair,
Lennon
didn't he?
had one pair
Yeah.
of glasses.
And he had
Those little round
huge,
ones.
big,
Yes.
everything. Yep, you got it. Okay, next question. Which movie was not directed by Steven Spielberg? A, Jaws, B, Animal House, or C, Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Again, which movie was not directed by Steven Spielberg? A, Jaws, B, Animal House, C, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And time? Okay, that's it. All right, and the correct answer is C, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh. I thought it would be Animal House. Okay. So he directed Animal House?
He did. He sure did. Okay, next question. Which,
I have to look that up.
okay, Google. Which amendment changed the voting age from 21 to 18? A, the 13th Amendment, B, the 26th Amendment, or C, the 4th Amendment? Again, which amendment changed the voting age from 21 to 18? A, the 13th Amendment, B, the 26th, or C, the 4th? And time. We have the 13th is A, but the correct answer is B, the 26th Amendment. All right.
Okay.
I put 13.
Oh, that's A.
Alrighty, and so we are on our next question, which is about pet rocks. Pet rocks originated in which country? A, Mexico, B, the United States, C, Canada. Again, pet rocks originated in which country? A, Mexico, B, the United States, or C, Canada? And that would be time. And our answers are, we have an A and a B, and the correct answer is A, and that is Mexico. Pet rocks were originated in Mexico. And Angie, I do believe that makes you our winner for today. Woo! Very nice. So thank you both for playing the game with us, Member One. We are out of time. Thank you to our guests, and thank you for watching. Catch us next time at Better with Age.